Hey, how's it going, everybody? I just finished reading this book, and it's so badass that I felt like I needed to talk about it so that the words in this book can reach other people. If you see this YouTube video, this book is awesome. This book, after I finished reading it, it just made me want to take on anything that gives me fear in life. To take it head on and overcome it. This book is fuel to better your life. And like I said, after I was done reading about it, I was like, I feel like I need to do something else other than just absorbing this positive message for myself. I want to shout it out. Whenever I consume anything positive in my life, I want to go to the highest mountaintop and shout it out in hopes that other people can receive that positive message so it helps them in their life. And I guess you can say, in a way, that's my way of doing this right now. This guy put his heart and soul into this book, and it led to me one day scrolling through the internet, finding my next book, found his name, didn't know anything about him, but read a brief summary of the book, and it intrigued me, so I dove in, and I'm really glad that I invested in this book because I'm a stronger man for hearing this man's journey and his pursuits in life, and how he overcame so much to be the man he is today and the man he continues to be every day. So yeah, I guess I want to interpret how I received it, and I also wrote down some notes in my notebook here to detail some of the quotes and some of the lines he put in his book and my interpretation of that. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Title of the book is Endure by Cameron Haynes. And I guess let me give my breakdown of it before I jump into this notebook where I wrote stuff down. So this man here, like all of us, you know, you start somewhere, and then it doesn't matter where you start, it matters where you end. And that applies to this man right here. This guy, he comes from a small town, and now he's this positive influence on the world. It's awesome to see somebody from a small town like that to become what he is today, which is just spreading positivity through his social media and through books. It's just amazing. But this guy, he's one of the world's most famous bow hunters, and he talks about, well, even before that, what he preaches in his book, he's saying that he's not one to sit down and teach people things about lessons. His objective with this book is to talk about his journey in life and how he approached certain obstacles in order for him to bypass that hurdle and take a learning lesson from it, and it made him a stronger person to keep moving forward and face bigger obstacles in life, so he can have the strength to endure those type of obstacles. So that's his main objective, is sharing his life journey. And then hopefully that resonates with the readers in some way, so that can help them in their life. It definitely did with me. But he's a bow hunter, and you know, bow hunting. I until I read this book, I really didn't know anything about bow hunting. But bow hunting, as you can imagine, is one of the hardest forms of hunting. Hardest. Physically demanding, mentally demanding, and you're literally going through the mountains and hunting wild animals with a bow and arrow. And you know, he noticed when he started bow hunting at a young age that the success rate for capturing a wild animal with a bow and arrow was very low, and he wanted to defy the odds and and be different. He wanted to be different in a way to, I guess one day he sat down at the drawing table and was like, how can I improve myself physically and mentally so I can increase the odds of just catching one elk a year? So what this man did, which nobody had done up to the point, nobody had ever done it, but this guy, I like when somebody thinks outside the box, and there's a lot of benefits when you think outside the box to improve whatever it is that you're doing in life. And this guy did that. He started doing ultra marathons, and ultra marathons, they're just like the ones mostly he talks about. They're about 100 miles in a race. To be exact, I think ultra marathon is anything past 50 miles, but a lot of the ultra marathons that he references are about 100 miles or more. And this man here started doing ultra marathons for the reason of he wanted to strengthen his legs. He wanted to strengthen his body's core. So when it comes time to do bow hunting in real time, in the mountains, in crazy conditions, weather-wise, he has the physical and mental endurance to withstand any conditions that the universe threw at him, and he can bypass it and still continue the mission and complete the mission successfully. And when this guy started doing that, from the bow hunting community, he got a lot of negative feedback. But like anybody in life, anything that you do in life, you know, if anybody's giving you negativity for your dream in life, all that is those other people reflecting their self-image onto you. If you see somebody doing something, pursuing a dream or a goal, and they're trying new ways to approach it so they can better themselves, you never shit on those people. You applaud them, you reward them, you uplift them. Because guess what? When you do that, you're not only helping that person, but it says a lot about yourself. It says that you like anybody that's going out to chase and complete a goal or a dream or a task. And this guy did that because everybody was shitting on him, making fun of him, that he was, you know, doing something ridiculous. You know, people would say like, you're an idiot. You don't need to run ultra marathons to go hunt deer in the mountains. And but what this guy did was block out all that negativity, and he knew that there was benefit in what he was doing, even though nobody else in his hunting community did that. He knew there was a benefit in it. He knew there was positivity, and he fed into it. And at the end, it was a reward, because the low ratio of catching a deer was the stats were like one man once every 10 years a man will catch one elk by way of bow. This guy defied those odds by catching an elk every year with a bow. So this guy, he had a thought. It started in his mind with positivity, and he thought, okay, he's like, this only makes sense. I'm hunting in the woods using my body, predominantly my legs and my back. So he's like, what can I do to strengthen that? So this guy started doing ultra marathons. And on top of that, he became a gym rat for the purpose of improving his craft, which is his love in life, is that craft of bow hunting, his passion. So people even gave him shit about that, saying you don't need to lift weights. You don't need to lift weights to hunt elk. And he ignored them. He shunned them out and continued his journey. And yeah, all that helped him to be the best bow hunter in the world. Which that message alone is just amazing. When I read that, I just like it. Not only for me, but anybody who picks up this book and reads this, man, it just I think that kind of message can resonate with anybody who's a freaking human being. It's just a believe in yourself. You gotta turn everything pitch black. Believe in yourself. Believe in that positivity and whatever it is that you're doing, and just keep pursuing it. There's gonna be haters along the way. There's always going to be people in their own way trying to manipulate you negatively with their words that come out of their mouth towards you. And you just need to learn how to block that. And it definitely is a skill to learn how to block that out. But just like anything, you work on it and then you become good at it. But this guy did that. Very impressive. In my life, it just so happened when I picked up this book, you know, I wasn't really much of a runner. You know, I was in the military before. I did some running there. But as far as like long distance running for pleasure and enjoyment, I've never really been into that until recently. I started running, and it just so happens I picked up this book, and man, this guy really inspired me with his in-depth detail of when he was running through the mountains for these ultra marathons, or even in the mountains running with a bow to chase his animal, the mental challenges he had to go through to overcome them so he could continue his mission. And that's a real thing, you know, when you're pursuing something hard in life, your brain, it just naturally makes you want to turn the other direction for the easy route to do things in life. The brain is kind of wired to protect you and do what you know that brings you comfort and brings you safety. When you do something new and you do something that's hard, you're kind of defying what your brain wants you to do, but that's okay. You push past it, and once you do push past it, is that you break through a barrier, and now you're in a new level, like a video game. You passed the boss, and now you're on a new level, and now your brain's gonna try to bring you down to this level. Like every level has a boss that's gonna try to bring you down. You just have to overcome it, and this guy paints that picture really well in this book. And you know, like I said, that type of message should resonate with any type of human being. Whatever it is you're facing in life, do what you know. You always know what's right. You always know what's right. It's just doing the right thing is hard. Doing the right thing is hard. And but that's what life's all about. Doing the hard stuff, because when you're done doing that hard stuff, that's the highest form of reward, self-gratitude that you can get in life. Is doing something that's hard and positive and overcoming it. That's the biggest mental trophy you could get in life. But yeah, man, thank you, Cameron Haynes, for producing this book. It provided a lot of positive fuel in my life. Since reading this book, I ran a half marathon. I've never ran a half marathon. And you know, I was just fired up, man. I remember running that race, and you know, just what I learned from this book, it just stay positive, man, through and through. You know, even when the half marathon was getting kind of hard, like I just remember, hey, there's no positive gain in thinking anything negative during this run. Just think nothing but positive. And it was crazy, man, because I was running, I was giving people the thumbs up, you know, high-fiving people, smiling, even though like my legs were like hurting, and like it was tough. And so I did that, and I was very proud of myself. You know, my wife will laugh at me because when you finish a run like that, they give you a little necklace with a little medallion on it. And I was walking around the house for like a whole week just wearing it out because I'm proud of myself. When you do something hard in your life, be proud of it. Don't diminish it, even if it's little. I know there's marathon runners out there that, or just, you know, people that are out there, they're quick to dismiss the little successes you have in life. You know, I know there will be people out there be like, oh, a half marathon, that's weak. I do that as training for my ultra. You don't listen to people that throw negativity your way. Every accomplishment you make in life, reward yourself, be proud of yourself. And that's what my new mindset, that's what I was. I was just very proud of myself, kind of applauding myself in the back because, for a couple of years after military, I was in a dark spot, and you know, I have forgot the concept of being proud of yourself on any achievement that you do in life. Be proud of yourself, reward yourself. And so that's what I did. And I was literally walking around the house with my medallion. And I ain't gonna lie, the first night I even fell asleep with it. It made me feel good. And anything that makes you feel good positivity wise, just engulf yourself in that. And since finishing that half marathon, now I'm training for a full marathon. And training is going real well. And a lot of messages in here, he kind of tells you how are you going to feel during the training, and it's okay. It's just the brain is, you got to push past the barrier and get to that new level. So this book definitely did that. So let me read these notes here. Some of them are kind of like quotes from the book. He quotes other people in this book, and then some of these quotes I have that are from him. But let me see. Okay, so I read this in the beginning, but I'll read it again. It says, I believe in daily repetition of consuming and applying positivity in your life. There's infinity ways to consume positivity. There's infinity ways to apply positivity. That can't be far from the truth. I just love that. That's just something I just created, and for me, it hits close to home, and I think of that every day. But so one thing that helped me from this book, there's a line in here from Cameron Haynes that says, it's a simple line, but there's so much into it. Anything in life has so much layers to it. You can't just look at something as simple. Everything in life has multiple layers to it. If you have that in-depth type of mindset, everything you look at has layers to it. But, you know, in my life, I'm running right now a lot. So this message kind of hit home for me. It says, your body gives what you ask of it. And I mean, it's true. I mean, if I'm training for a marathon, 26.2 miles, you know, you ain't gonna be able to run that marathon unless you put in the work. You can't put in half of the work and expect on race day to run the full 26.2. So you have to tell your body what you want from it, and then that's what you get from it after you put in the work. And the same applies mentally. The mind will give you what you ask of it, but you have to ask of it. Like that, for me, that translates into feed yourself positivity every day. And guess what? Your mind is going to produce positivity, and that's going to result in your actions in your life. A quote, Cameron Haynes puts a quote in here by Jack London. It says, the proper function of man is to live, not to exist. I shall not waste my days in trying to prolong them. I shall use my time. To me, that translates into don't just be living like a zombie. Wake up, be alive. Because if you don't wake up before you know it, you're dead. You don't know when you're gonna die, man. And it's you need to wake. If only you know if you're being the best version of yourself, and not until that day you decide to wake up and do something about it and be the best version of you. It's like this quote saying, I shall not waste my days in trying to prolong them. I shall use my time. Use your time. Use your time. So there's another message in here saying, I believe, don't just, okay, so this one's from me. It says, I believe, don't just live, be alive. Time to wake up and be the best version of yourself. Everything positive in your life right now is a byproduct of the level of positivity you are applying in your life right now. He puts a quote in here by Stephen. He puts a quote in here by Steve Prefontaine. It says, to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice your gift. Meaning, if you're not the best version of yourself, you're not going to experience the best life you can, and that's a shame. Not a shame for anybody else. It's a shame for you, because you only get to live one life, and this life is precious and short, and why not take advantage of it? So everybody should have a dream, right? A dream. This is my dream, right? For me, this is my dream in life, right? My dream in life is to understand and maintain the following concept daily, which is, Work hard every day to be the best version of myself. This is only accomplished by viewing everything through a positive perspective. If you're still alive, consider everything introduced into your life as a positive obstacle that you can overcome. If I maintain this root concept daily, I will continue seeing my life constantly change for the better. Most importantly, I must remember my positive actions will act as a rippling effect, showing the power of positive perspective to those near and far. I must be the change in order to teach the change. So that's my dream in life, is to remember that every day and apply that every day. And if I can do that until my dying day, whenever that is, that's my dream is accomplished. And I feel in this book, Cameron Hayes relays that same kind of concept in his words, and I'll go over that. So this is my short description of that by Cameron Hayes, and then I want to read a page to you guys from this book that conveys what I'm saying here from Cameron Hayes. So in a way, he's telling you, chasing your dream, finally grabbing your dream and holding on to your dream. He puts that into a metaphor when he was hunting in the woods or in the mountains. He was hunting a 250-pound wild animal with the bow and arrow. He hit it with the bow and arrow, and the animal was near a cliff, and it was about to fall off of the cliff. And that animal he was hunting, he wanted that so bad. He wanted that since he was a little boy. He wanted to hunt that type of animal, and he finally got it. He put in the hard work and finally got it, and it was about to fall off a cliff and disappear forever. But instead of letting it disappear forever, in a way, he actually risked his own life to run to the edge of the cliff and grab this animal by the horns, and actually pulled it up. And that's his way of conveying whatever it is that your dream is in life, go for it, grab it, and learn how to hold on to it. And when he used that metaphor, I just thought that was amazing how he used that. But let me actually read the page out of his book that conveys this message from Cameron Hayes. And this is on page 295. Okay, so like I said, he's hunting for this animal, and he says this: will your dream get pulled over that cliff? Are you going to be able to survive? Can you find the strength to endure? When I grabbed onto the horns of that Dell sheep, time stood still for a moment. My life flashed before me. I thought of all those who were important to me. Is this it? There I was, holding on to a 250-pound wild animal that with one false move could pull me over that cliff. Ultimately, I dragged him up onto that small ledge, tied him off, and held him there. I breathed in and stared down the mountain. I survived. I'm going to make it home from this. I thank God for one more day to see those whom I love. I made it off that mountain with a trophy on my back. Looking back, it was no doubt a highly questionable decision to try to hold him inches so close to certain death. But this was my sheep. I had waited a lifetime for that moment. I held a dream in my hands, and I wasn't going to let it go for anything. What cliff are you standing next to, and what will prevent you from falling down it? What dream do you hold that you're not going to let go of? My achievement on Pioneer Peak was one I never, ever thought I'd realize. It's also a reminder of what I repeatedly say. If I can do it, anyone can. But you will have to earn it. You will have to endure. I love that. I love that. That kind of sums up his whole approach to life and the overall concept of this book. So that's it. That's it, you guys. I just feel like something compelled me to talk about this book because it moved me in such a positive way. And I hope others see this video or through any other means of reading this book and receiving that message. This guy is awesome, Cameron Haynes. He's a positive role model to look to for inspiration and motivation, any type of form of positivity. This guy shows it in this book. And right now, I believe he's doing a book tour. You can find him on all kinds of podcasts endorsing this book. And Cameron Haynes, thank you, man. You're awesome. This book really helped me out. Until next time, see you guys later.